This is Olbermann versus Trump, and I'm not Trump. I call upon the United States House of Representatives to begin procedures to hold General Services Administration head Emily Murphy in contempt of Congress. I call upon the House to subpoena her to appear before them to explain immediately her refusal to issue the ascertainment required to formally begin the Biden presidential transition. I call upon the House to warn Administrator Murphy that if she fails to comply, they will vote her in contempt and compel her appearance. And I call upon the House to tell Administrator Murphy that any further delay will result in her contempt case being referred to the Department of Justice on January 21st of next year, and that she will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Enough of this! Last Thursday, the chairwomen of the House Oversight and Appropriations Committees wrote to Emily Murphy and told her that as the one person in government who is responsible for the so-called ascertainment that Biden won the 2020 election, she needed to appear before them today, Monday, and explain what the hell she was doing, breaking all tradition and all law, and quoting imaginary precedents from the year 2000, and refusing to explain herself or her actions. And Murphy did not appear today. Instead, the General Services Administration advised the committee chairs that a deputy administrator, not Murphy, would brief the chairwomen and the ranking Republican members of each committee next Monday, the 30th. The GSA also said it will brief committee members of the Senate Appropriations, Homeland Security, and Government Affairs committees. The briefings will reportedly be just 30 minutes long. The House committee chairs have now written Murphy back, insisting she appear tomorrow. This is all not merely wrong. It is criminal. Ideally, Murphy, a career political hack who has previously been caught and warned by Congress about lying on behalf of Donald Trump, should have already been dragged to jail and have been denied bail. But contempt of Congress does not work that fast, and the current Justice Department, corrupted by William Barr, who is missing in inaction somewhere, would not act anyway. But the next Justice Department can act, and they should slam Emily Murphy in jail for this. This is no judgment call by an overly cautious bureaucrat looking at the 2000 election and seeing cause, however flimsy, to not act yet. This is pure politics. This is pure cover your ass politics from Emily Murphy for Donald Trump. And somehow it is even worse than that. What Murphy is doing simply is trying to avoid Trump's anger. More practically, she is trying to avoid having Trump fire her. But, you say logically, she's going to lose this job in 60 days anyway. And therein lies the key to all of this. Emily Murphy is holding up ascertaining the Biden victory, thus holding up the Biden transition, thus holding up the peaceful transfer of power in this country, and thus threatening the handing off of the fight against COVID-19, and thus killing Americans, and she is doing this for the sake of her resume. Seriously. ABC News reported on November 16th that while publicly Murphy is insisting there is no conclusive evidence that Biden has won and Trump has lost, privately, she sent a message to a colleague which ABC has seen, in which Murphy asked for leads and help getting a new job. She is doing all this, inserting herself into the wheels of American government to literally freeze a nation in place and humor a psychopathic lame duck, so that she doesn't piss off any other Trump cultists who might hire her, and that for all potential employers, she does not have to admit Trump fired her. This is how sick this individual is. Screw the nation, I need a good reference. Legally, this is called self-dealing. You go to prison for this. 160 top American business executives, including Trump's ally, the head of Blackstone, wrote to Trump on Monday telling him it was time to end this absurdity and to concede. Some top Republican donors warned they may boycott donations to the Georgia Senate contest if he does not concede. Republican Senators Murkowski and Toomey and now Capito have told him it's over. Carl Bernstein revealed a list of 19 other Republican senators who have, quote, repeatedly expressed extreme contempt for Trump and his fitness to be president. And the Pennsylvania Supreme Court ruled 6 times against Trump on Monday, and he has now lost 35 of his first 36 post-election garbage lawsuits. But this Murphy, a lawyer whose career had peaked at writing the actual contracts for the government to buy office supplies, has the final say over the entirety of this country. In 2018, the GSA decided to cancel its plans. They were to move the FBI headquarters elsewhere rather than spend even more money to rebuild it. It soon became clear Trump wanted the FBI to stay where it was in Washington because that way nobody could build a new hotel there to compete with his own hotel. But Murphy told Congress that Trump had nothing to do with the decision, that it was all the FBI's call. It was all a lie. Records then proved she had met with Trump about the move twice and with his chief of staff once. She is a liar. She lied for Trump to Congress. He had elevated her from meaningless, fringe, boilerplate contract writer to head of the General Services Administration. God forbid she's denied the chance to turn that into big money somewhere else in the Trump cult or in the private sector. That's what this is about. Emily Murphy wants more money. So a nation is frozen in place, and she can ignore congressional oversight, and her deputy will give a briefing a week from now so this ignorant, low-level bureaucrat can pad her resume. To hell with her. Again, to Chairwoman Maloney of House Oversight, to Chairwoman Lowy of Appropriations, Emily Murphy has ignored your requests. Give her till morning to show up and answer your questions. If she fails to appear, send subpoenas and begin procedures to hold Murphy in contempt of Congress and have her detained and arrested. Enough!